Dating a Filipina, things to know and tips in 2020. In this video, I'll give you comprehensive information and tips that will give you great insight into Filipinas and will prepare you well for dating a Filipina in 2020. If you're looking to date a Filipina or already dating a Filipina, then this is one video you really need to watch. Looking to date a Filipina or already dating or married to a Filipina? I use my experiences around my relationship with my Filipina wife of 6 years, as well as my professional experience as a qualified relationship counsellor for over the past 10 years. Are you after resources, tips and information for a successful relationship with your Filipina and to maintain it well into the future? No problems, just take a moment to subscribe and press the bell icon to get all our future videos, and I promise you'll never miss out again. Dating a Filipina and the things you need to know about her. Many Filipinas will have a great love for their family, which is a great quality about Filipinas. They will prioritize their family very highly, but that does not mean they won't prioritize you when you're in a relationship with a Filipina. Absolutely not. But what you'll need to do is not only to court your Filipina, but also to court her family, or get them on side if you will. If the family likes you, you're certainly not going to have as many issues going forward in the relationship. Many Filipinas love their food. To many of us foreign men who have dated and married a Filipina, it can be a little strange when she may pull out a balut to eat, or chicken legs, dried fish, or even chicken intestines. Filipinas have certainly been brought up with a different diet and foods to that of us in many other countries, but they certainly love their exotic foods, and also you may be just surprised how good some of those traditional foods are, such as adobo and sinigang, just to name a couple. Be sure to try as much as you can and you'll start to enjoy more, as I have over time. You may also find that your Filipina loves to cook, and she will often cook enough to feed an army. This is something Filipinas learn from a very young age, and she's very proud to show off her cooking skills to you. Many Filipinas are independent and they aren't looking to be with you for your money. Many Filipinas may have a good job and they work very hard, and they're extremely proud of that fact. Don't be swayed or deterred by the stories going around where ill-informed people will say Filipinas only want your money. These people may have been burned because they've hooked up with the wrong type of Filipina, and those women do exist in any country. Or they just repeat the same old things they hear others say. But bear in mind that living in a country such as the Philippines can bring about many challenges and dramas for some families, and she may need money to send her family. So this is where these people get the idea that she's only after your money from. But the reality is, out of so many Filipinas in the Philippines, what is there, 40 odd million Filipinas? Very few will be actually after your money. As I say, many Filipinas are independent and work very hard to support themselves. Filipinas have such a beautiful appearance, and for many this is the first thing you will notice. The beauty of a Filipina is breathtaking, with their light brown smooth complexion, gorgeous face and voluptuous body. But then as you get to know the Filipina more, you see past the natural beauty and see her heart is equally as beautiful as her appearance, with a fun-loving nature that will surely keep you on your toes and young at heart. Many Filipinas are good in English. Notice I didn't say great in English. The English many Filipinas may speak won't be perfect, but it will be good enough to have some reasonable conversations, and as time goes by, her English and understanding of English will improve. Sure, there are some Filipinas who have been to university and may speak very good and almost perfect English, but they are the minority. And as you move further away from Metro Manila, Filipinas and Filipino people in general are very friendly. And this is something that is part of what I call the magic of the Philippines. By that I mean, when you visit the Philippines for the first time into the province areas, you'll find the quality of many Filipinos' English and understanding will drop considerably, especially with the older Filipinos. And when I say older, I'm talking 35 plus. You'll have a strong urge or a pull to go back again and again, but I do believe that the friendliness of the Filipino people, and in particular Filipinas, are a big reason for the magic in the Philippines. Filipino people on the whole are considered among the friendliest people in the world, and it isn't until you go there and see for yourself that you can actually fully understand this. The friendliness of Filipinos certainly makes approaching a Filipino in person or sending a message to a Filipino online much more comfortable and reassuring, because they're very unlikely to reject you straight away and tell you where to go, like many women in Western countries will certainly do. Many modern day Filipinos are educated. So many Filipinos will pride themselves on not only completing high school but also going on to college and or university. In the Philippines, education is seen as essential because many people who have never finished high school will find it difficult to get hired into a meaningful paid position, and the competition for those jobs is very fierce. So getting a good solid education is giving themselves a good chance for a better future, and many Filipinos certainly understand and want this. No guys, they just don't sit around on the parks and malls waiting for a foreigner to come along so she can get his money. Many are out there every day working and studying very, very hard. Many Filipinos believe in marriage and truly wants to someday get married to a man they can love and take care of. This may be due to their religious upbringing and their own values that they hold close to their heart. Filipinos do take marriage very seriously, and they understand in the Philippines there is no divorce. But even when a Filipino marries a foreign man and moves to his country where there is divorce, for many Filipinos, they will fight to the very end to save their marriage and do what they need to do to make it work. Filipinos are great nurturers, and this is something that is probably in their DNA, something they do very naturally and enjoy doing. This is one reason many men find a Filipino to marry, because of a soft and nurturing side. Be sure that a Filipino will always be sure to put you and her family at number one, and will do whatever she needs to do to ensure everyone is taken care of. That is certainly her nurturing side taking over. Filipinos have a great sense of humour, and it's all very natural and not put on just for you. Sit back in a park or a mall and you'll see Filipinos walking along with their girlfriends or boyfriends, and they'll be laughing and having a great old time. They love a joke and love to laugh and be happy and bring happiness to others. And when you date or marry a Filipina, it will be no different. I know after 7 years with my Filipino wife, she still tries to make me laugh and certainly has a great sense of humour. Filipinas are very well mannered. In fact, more so than any other women I've encountered anywhere else in the world. This obviously has to do with her upbringing, religious beliefs and culture, but when you first go to the Philippines, people there may address you as sir. This is a sign of respect for you, and that's Filipino people in general. Your Filipina will be no different, and when you first meet her, she may even call you sir until you ask her to call you by your first name. Filipinas may also use respectful terms when speaking to family and friends, such as po, opo, and kuya. My apologies to the Filipino people for my pronunciations there. As we touched on a little earlier, Filipinas are very family orientated, and if you're lucky enough to go into her province and meet and spend time with her family, you'll notice how many people are spending time together. They may not just be parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, but also maybe kids and people from the local neighbourhood. They do love to be with other people, and it's very nice to be around. Filipinas are extremely loyal and very faithful to their partner, and a good Filipina will also be looking for a man who is the same. Many Filipinas believe marriage is sacred and not to be played with or to take any risks in damaging the relationship. Filipinas will avoid temptations or putting herself in any compromising position that may be seen as not proper or easily misinterpreted for that of a married woman. A good Filipina will view marriage as a lifelong commitment and wants a man with the same views and beliefs on this. To be sure, if you're ready to date a Filipina, check out the following tips for a successful relationship with a Filipina. You need to make every effort to try and understand your Filipina. So research is key before you go and meet her for the first time. Research about the Philippines in particular and the area she lives in. Research about Filipinas and the ways of a Filipina, her culture, religious beliefs, and the importance of her family. Be prepared for some mild shocks when you go and see her for the first time. If she's living in the city, she may only be living in a small room of a boarding house with a very little ventilation and possibly living in a place that's quite a fire hazard. If she's in a province area, the house may not be like what you're used to. Be sure no matter what you're thinking, don't say it out loud to her because it'll make her feel bad. Have consideration for the Filipina and be gentle with her feelings. Remember, you're in the Philippines for a short time, but this is her everyday life. Be thoughtful and be gentle. When you meet your Filipina, be generous. Now, I don't mean give her a stack of money and valuable jewelry and all this sort of stuff, but it's nice to take some small gifts for your girlfriend and also for her family. Simple things like chocolate or candy and maybe even some flowers. If you take your Filipina out on a date, then offer to pay for the date. Many will be happy by this, but if your Filipina insists she also pay, then allow her to contribute. Always keep in mind that many Filipinas may rarely go to restaurants and alike because they may not be able to afford it. Chances are your currency in the Philippines will go so much further, and to have a great date may only cost $20 or $30. Check with your Filipina about how she feels about public displays of affection, and if you're not able to do that and you're not really sure, then just wait and see what she's comfortable with. In other words, let her take the lead on those things. For most Filipinos, they may be okay holding hands in public, but some may not. If your Filipina reaches for your hand in public, then accept it. Things like hugging and kissing, stroking hair, etc. most likely will make your Filipina feel very uncomfortable in public. So again, refrain from those things. Be polite around your Filipina, her family and her friends. How you act at home around your family and friends may be very different to how you need to act around your Filipina. Swearing and cursing is a big no-no and will offend or upset your Filipina, and if you want to get on the good side of her family, then definitely keep those things in check. In your Filipina's culture, she's learnt to have respect for herself, and she'd like you as her new boyfriend to also show the same values and respect. Sure, you'll see some Filipinas who may be very flirty, like the bar girls and some really hot women, but the vast majority are very reserved and shy. This is a fairly comprehensive guide with much important information and tips to get your relationship off to a great start and hopefully be a successful, long-lasting relationship with a Filipina. If you're looking for more information, tips and resources about dating a Filipina, be sure to check out my playlist on screen now. Feel free to like and share the video, subscribe and press the bell icon for future videos. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all your support. Take care and bye for now.